This last year, my first year in being in EBS has been nothing short of amazing. Being able to dream bigger. Having a business coach is so important to help realign our thinking and also thinking about what's possible. But EBS in particular has been an amazing journey of connection.
You have to join EBS. You owe it to yourself. There's so many moving parts to a private practice or really any type of business, and you can't do it by yourself. You need support, you need community, and EBS is the right community.
Since I've gotten here, I've found ways to increase my capacity without burning out by leveraging my team, my resources, and what I'm doing by optimizing it. So come join us. This is a movement. Yes.
So this summer in the EntreMD Business School, okay, this is what we want for everyone. And let's have a lot of interaction in the comments. So you let me know if this is what you want. More profits, a stronger team, and real freedom, right? Like these are the things, like if we ended up with our version of these three things over the summer, we're like, great, it was a summer to remember, okay? And all the different aspects of our lives won. It's not one at the expense of the other, okay? Now, this is the way, you guys know I'm all about the beach and the water, right? Okay, so I want us to have that dream life, okay? And whatever it is for you, I'm learning so much more to tap into what it is I truly want. The beach represents like freedom for me. It may be something else for you. It could be hiking, it could just be time off. It could be a day-long massage, whatever that is for you. But I want you to just hold that picture. Okay, I want you to hold that picture of what it is, but think about the peace, the calm, the not being anxious, not being overworked, not being so stressed out, not being burnt out, like none of that. Like we're going to use this opportunity to practice living in the 20% and having this dream business and dream life, having both of them, right? Okay, so we've designed this ultimate summer experience. It's a 13-week period. And we're going to help you master confidence selling. We'll help you master building a team, because a team is a huge part of your ticket to freedom. So Dr. Toomer just talked about, somebody that she brought on and she took a week off and had a big project and the person handled it and she didn't have to do anything, right? It's part of that ticket. And we want you to reclaim your time, but without sacrificing growth, okay? Because yes, our families are first, but money is also a very important part of what we do. Our businesses are an important part of what we do. We want to win on both ends. Okay, so that's the purpose of this. And so this whole experience will then be the thing that is your secret weapon. Okay, so we're going to grow, but not in a hustle type of way. And this summer gives us the opportunity to really lean into, I know how to create growth and protect my time. Okay, I know how to do both. And that's what we're going to do. You're going to prove it to yourself. And then what happens after that is you just become the person who does that. Okay. All right. So this is what you have to look forward to. Okay. So we broke out programming. Typically we don't do this. We only do about a month at a time, but this time we are. Okay. So I'm going to look at June, July, and August. For June, these are what your sessions are going to be. So you will notice that every month we do a RevCon. Why? I want to make sure that every month we are refocused on what we're trying to do with revenue. We're very clear on the plan we're going to take to get there. And so that way, every single month, we're making significant strides as far as revenue goes. We're focused. We know where we're going. Okay. So in these calls, what do? We're doing that real-time coaching, right? Like, what is the obstacle that's getting in my way? How do we get it out? What is my plan? What is the thing that will deliver the results I'm looking for, and all of that? So you'll notice June, July, August, every month is going to start with the RevCon. And after that, we have our Champions Mindset. Now, let me know in the chat, how many of you have found the Champions Mindset sessions like super helpful? Because a lot of people like to, they like to say, oh, the mindset doesn't matter. I just need the strategy. I just need to work harder and all of that stuff. But I found, especially the more successful that you get, if you don't have the mindset piece down packed, like it doesn't matter how beautiful the strategy, it doesn't matter how long you've thrived at that thing. Like it's easy to fail once the mindset piece is not there. Okay. So, for that session, we're gonna get rid of the things that make selling feel icky, that make us, raising prices feel icky, that make it where we have these, dedicated times when we sell, as opposed to just being people who sell because we believe in our product that much. And so we're gonna get all of those out of the way so you can show up authentically and confidently and just sell, and not from a yucky standpoint, but oh my goodness, my stuff is so good, I can't help but sell it. And then you can infect, quote unquote, your team with that as well. So you have a team of people, right, who can do this with you. You want to get comfortable selling, right? Like more comfortable. Okay, then we're gonna have, what we call the strategy lab. And these are where we come and we're building out actual strategy to help us get a specific outcome. So a number of you talked about, either launching new verticals, launching a new location. A number of you talked about, you want to avoid the summer slump. Okay, the summer slump. So you want to have, like you have a way of making sure the revenue, especially for those of you in private practice, that they stay, that it stays on, where it's supposed to be. And what you use to do that is a campaign to drive, like over this next 90 days, this is how we're going to drive so we don't have a summer slump. I did a debrief of what we're doing in my private practice because we're peds. So of course, kids are not in school, kids are on vacation, they don't need school physicals for school or sports or whatever, they don't come in. And so if you don't have a campaign to drive, then your numbers just, go down the drain. Okay. So we're going to show you how to execute a profitable campaign with your team. So you're not doing it by yourself, right? So maybe you get shocked and maybe it's not Fox News, like Dr. Oluyemisi, but you get shocked by what your team can do, right? Okay. Now this one, I wish I could do it 3 times, but we're calling it Tranquil. And what it is self-care for high performers. It's not the massage and the spa and all of that stuff that may be included, but my goodness, for high performers, many of the times you love what you do. Many of the times you're somebody who can work really long hours. Many of the time you're the person who has high capacity, so you keep piling things on and on. There is a way to take care of yourself. So as you are performing at the highest level possible, you are okay. How many of you are like, yeah, I'm gonna need that session, right? Because I don't want us to have wonderful businesses and we're burned out. I don't want us to have wonderful businesses and we're like, we can't spend time with our family. We can't do any, we're just too tired, we're just shot. Okay. And so this is a thing where you're doing what you're doing, but you're calm, you have it together. You give different things their time, like you're unbothered, all of that stuff. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. So that's what June looks like. Okay. That's what June looks like. Dr. Tuma said, been there, done that, did it again. Right. Now with the mindset thing, Dr. Beckford said, every time I feel I've conquered it, the drama comes at me harder. So this is the thing. We never truly conquer. That's not true. We conquer mindset stuff, but at different levels, right? So let's say you are not afraid of raising your prices and you didn't have money drama up until, at 3K. And then you went up to 5K and you conquered to get to 5K. If you're going to go to 10K, guess what shows up again? Money drama. And so you're conquering it, but there are new dimensions of it. That's just the nature of the game. Okay. Is June looking good? What do you guys think? June looking good? Looking like a good month? You walk away from June a different person? Yeah? Okay. Okay, good. Good. All right. All right. So here, July, again, we're going to start with RevCon. Chances are in this one, we're going to identify and eliminate your number one revenue block. It's going to be so fun because a lot of times we can't see it, right? But it's like, what is that one thing that is in my way? No, like the number one thing. So when we get that out of the way, you're like free to go full speed ahead. Okay. So we're going to look at that. And then on the 9th, champions mindset again. And this is about, like, you'll notice a lot of times when we talk about team, when you guys have questions about team, I come back to you, the leader of the team, because when we talk about our teams, we hire them, we onboarded them, we trained them, we kept them on, we evaluate them. And so when you notice, like, man, I want my team to up level, the first place to look is not the team, it's us, right? So how do we become the leaders that our rockstar teams deserve? How do we become the people who will confidently hire the people that should be on the team? How do we become the people who have the meetings? How do we become the people who hold people accountable? Because sometimes not sometimes, there's a lot of drama around this. Either I'm not worthy of a specific kind of team member, or these people, I can't even believe they're even working with me. So because of that, I can't hold them accountable. Or, I can't correct this person, because if they leave, what am I going to do? I'm never going to find somebody like them. How many of you have had some of that? Right? And so if we don't solve that, we can't be the leaders, our teams. So we can't have the rock star team. The starting point of the rock star team is the rock star leader. It's not the team. It starts from the leader. Okay. So we're going to get rid of all that drama, right? That keeps us from performing that way. And then after that, we're going to do our strategy lab. This came up a lot. Lots of people are like, I want to train my team properly. I want to make sure people have the proper job descriptions, that their job roles are clear, their KPIs, their training plans, all of those things. And so for the strategy lab for that month, we're gonna work through this. Okay, how to create those job roles, the KPIs, the training plans, so we can have these rock star teams that can grow and scale our companies. Right? Okay. All right. And then we're going to have our specialty mastermind is going to be team focused. So a lot of team. July is like team. And what does team do? It gives us our time back. It gives us our freedom back. It puts us back in the 20% and all of that stuff. Okay. And then the 30th, we're renaming what we call laser coaching sessions. We're calling them 7-figure conversations now, because that's what we do there. But that's what that's going to be. Okay. And so that's a catch-all, right? So anything that wasn't addressed and stuff like that, we catch all of that there. All right. August. RevCon, again, we're troubleshooting what's going on with the revenue. What do we need to fix? All of that kind of stuff. On the 13th, this is going to be a lot of fun. Okay. How many of you in the last month have run away from a difficult conversation with a team member? Somebody you needed to call to order, somebody you needed to do an evaluation with, someone underperforming that you needed to have a meeting with, the whole 9 yards, right? But we're bosses, we're CEOs. This is something we need to master. This is something we need to not run away from anymore, but run towards. I am not a confrontational person by nature. Like, I'm the let sleeping dogs lie, don't ruffle any feathers, just, but it doesn't work. Not if you want to build a business that will grow, that will scale, that can work without you. Not if you want to have rock star team members. Rock stars thrive on feedback, right? And so we're going to work through how to have those difficult conversations, because if we don't have them, we cannot have strong teams. We just can't. Okay. All right. And even, that's also how you can have team members. You pay them to do a specific task. They're not doing it, so you do it. You take out of your time and do it, or you hire somebody else to make up for their incompetence. And so you're paying twice for one task. Right? And what is that doing? You're sacrificing your financial freedom. So these are all things that need to happen. Okay. Okay. Strategy lab, hiring, right? The interview process, and the 3x3 interview method, how to identify red flags on all of that, and how to onboard your people. Guys, listen, if you take somebody, the same person, and they get hired in Burger King, and they get hired after that in Disney, that same person will perform differently in both companies. And that is because, can you guys hear me? Dr. Brenda says she can't hear. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Okay. All right. So it's not, yes, we have to hire the right people, but also the way we onboard them, the way we onboard them, the way we set them up to win makes a huge difference. Okay. So we're going to do a deep dive on that. And then we're going to have a guest expert. We're going to have Namdi back, and he's going to do AI powered team upgrades, how to upgrade your team, how to multiply the production of your team, leveraging the power of AI. Okay. So that's going to happen there as well. So do you guys see this? We're doing the mindset stuff. We're doing the strategy lab. We're doing the AI. We're optimizing your team, all of those things. Why? So you can get your team back. We're doing the RevCon. Why? So you can maximize your revenue. And we're doing all this stuff so that what happens? So you can have real freedom. We want you to have all three. Okay. All right. And then the last week of all of this would be September the 3rd. And that's when we do our RevCon. We're going to celebrate our wins because that's the end of that summer. We're going to make it a big hula baloo and all of those things. So celebrate the wins, set your next big goal, all of those things. Okay. All right. So we're not going to hustle. We're gonna work hard, but we're not gonna hustle. We're not gonna hustle. What we need is a plan, and this is the plan. Okay, this is the plan that we've built out for you. We want you to build a business you love. We want you to create a summer that you love. Okay, that's the whole idea here. So what's your part? Okay, because everything is two-sided. So that's our part, right? That's my part. That's the company's part. Now, what's your part? Save the dates. And it's very easy. Every Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Okay, save the dates. Okay, have a growth mindset, please. One of the things I want to invite you to avoid like the plague is, oh, I know that. I've done that. I know that. I've done that. Because businesses 10 times your size, guess what they're doing? They're doing a lot of what you're doing, but they're doing it in a better way. They're more optimized. They're getting bigger outputs from the same activity. So I want you to like completely remove from your vocabulary this phrase, like, I know that, I've done that. People would tell me that, like, oh, YouTube, I got that. What do you mean you got that? Like, like compared to what? What do you mean? Right. And so I want to invite everyone to have a growth mindset, approach everything like you don't know it, right? Like, what could I learn from this? How could I do it better? How could I optimize this? Okay. So let me know in the chat, deal, have a growth mindset. If you're like, absolutely, type deal in the chat. This one is really important for me because nothing else works. Once you think I got this, that's the end. There's no way to learn anything else. There's no way to optimize. And we don't got it. Like, there's so much more to learn. Okay, love it. Okay. All right. The third thing, we're going to do 20% work. What does that mean? We're going to eat frogs. We're going to show up like bosses, 7-figure entrepreneurs. You might say, I'm not a 7-figure entrepreneur. I know, but you act like it first. You do what they do first, then you become it, right? Maybe you're adding to 7 figures, whatever that is, but we're going to eat frogs. It's going to be a frog fest. Okay. The summer is going to be a frog fest because the more frogs you eat, the less time you have to spend working on your business. The more frogs you eat, so we're not going to just talk about it, dream about it, post about it. We're going to be about it. We're going to be about it. We're going to do the uncomfortable things, because the uncomfortable things are the things that when you do them, it's one thing, but the output is huge. The ROI is huge. So you can do fewer things. Okay. So every time we give up a frog, we give up a 20% activity, and we decide we want to do something that doesn't matter, what we're doing is we're sacrificing our freedom. We're sacrificing our time freedom. So the way Brian Tracy puts it, he says, if you play during a hard time, which is when you're supposed to be working, then your hard time is going to bleed into your soft time, which is when you should be playing, resting, spending time with your family, and all of those other things. Right. And in the same way, if you give up 20% activities, the actual things that move the needle, and you're playing around with things that don't, then the time when you should be spending with family, you have to come then do the 20% activity. Right. So we're going to do the 20%. We're going to embrace discomfort. So maybe you want to type that in the chat. I embrace discomfort. I embrace discomfort. I embrace discomfort. Like, I'm just going to do it. I'm not looking for comfort. I'm looking for freedom. Okay. I want to have more profits, a stronger team, and real freedom. That's what I want. And so if the price for it is discomfort, I embrace discomfort. Okay. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to do it together. We're going to do it in community. It's going to be amazing. Okay. You're going to leverage the EBS Commonwealth, guys. Take a look at the participants on this call. Take a look at the people in the Facebook group. Guess who they are? They are all people who are physician entrepreneurs who are like full speed ahead like you, who are making the same commitment. This summer, we're going to have more profit, stronger team, real freedom, right? And so when you need help, come into the group, ask questions. When you have a win, come in and share, give a debrief. I want to give a big shout out to the docs who've been given debriefs, even of the things that are challenging. Dr. Carivella talked about her nurse practitioner who left and all of those things, right? Dr. Tuba said EBS will spoil you if you let it, right? So lean on the community. You need a connection or something, lean on the community. You want to share a debrief, do that. Give and take, give and take, give and take, right? Because your network is your net worth. The second you joined the EntreMD Business School, you acquired a ridiculously amazing network. Don't not take advantage of it. It's yours. Okay. Big shout out to Dr. Rachel Rubin as well, who's like, oh, I'm going to do this course. I decided, why don't I just, make $1 million of sales? And she comes and she's giving these daily debriefs. That's a gift. Like, where else have you seen somebody who's running a multi-million-dollar business do that? Like, where else have you seen it? Right. And so take full advantage. Don't hide. Don't lurk. You're a whole boss. Okay. Okay. All right. Then I want you to work as hard on enjoying your summer, right? And so we're going to work on those things of reclaiming your time. And now when you have your team doing stuff, you're not going to look for more stuff, right? Like you're going to make sure you're living in 20%, but you're going to take that time and you're going to spend it and you're going to enjoy it. And you're going to have times when you're going to turn off your computer and all of those things and just enjoy the summer. Now, let me say this. We're all going to do this to different degrees. Okay. So Dr. Brenda talked about taking 21 days off. This is the first time that she's ever done it. For some of you, you've never taken it. It's not unusual. We've had many people come into EBS. They've never taken a vacation. So maybe you take a week off. Maybe you take every Friday off. Maybe whatever your version is, I want you to own your version. Okay. So we are in community doing this. But your summer may not look like mine. Mine may not look at yours, and it's okay. So type this in the chat. My summer is my summer. Because what we're not going to do is we're not going to create this pressure. Oh, this person did this for 30 days, and I'm failing at this because I only did it for 4 days. No, my summer is my summer. My summer is my summer. And Dr. Brenda said something really powerful. She said, I had to check in twice a day and manage from afar, but the view was beautiful. And that's okay. That's the point I'm trying, because somebody else will say, oh, I left my computer in the United States and traveled all over the world. That's good, but maybe that's not you, right? Maybe you do check in once a day, but my goodness, you're away for 21 days. You're away from the office. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, my summer is my summer. We're not going to compare with anybody. We're not going to compare with anybody so we can enjoy what we create. Okay, we're going to have a beautiful summer, the best we've had. Okay, we're not going to compare. We can observe and we can be happy for others. Can you be happy for somebody else if they're doing something that you're like, I don't even see how I can do it? Can we decide we will do that? I can be happy for someone. I can see somebody say, I traveled for, 12 weeks and I didn't do anything in my business and it was still working. And I can be happy for them, even though I'm like, wow, how can you do that? Right? Celebrate them. Go like, oh my goodness, I get to see these real vision boards and they get to tell me what they're doing. It's like a buffet. I can pick. Maybe I don't do it this year. Maybe I don't even do it next year, but I'll do it 3 years from now. Like, just celebrate other people. Be happy for them. No need to compare. Just celebrate them. Right? Okay. All right. So I want us to think about this. This is September 3rd. We're getting together. We're doing our RevCon. Is the last week of the 13 weeks. And you look back and truthfully, you look at the bottom line, you're like, wow, usually this time of the year we'd have a big slump. We didn't have a big slump, or maybe we had less of a slump, or we had no slump, or we grew. And it was amazing. Right. And I had this kind of team, and now my team is so much better. These are all the things I used to do. They've taken them off my plate. And oh my goodness, the time that I had just, for me, the time I had, with my family, the time I had with my friends and all this stuff. Maybe you did a brunch every other weekend or whatever. And man, you pulled it off. I just want you to think, like, just let that sink for a second. And you did it. And you remember your people in the EntreMD Business School, and they did amazing things, and you celebrated them. And there's no beef, there's no envy, there's no jealousy, there's no feeling bad, there's no victim, anything. You're like, this is what I did, this is what they did. It's amazing. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. So say yes to the plan, say yes to focused work, say yes to your best summer yet. Okay. So if you're saying yes, type yes in the chat. That's our summer. This is the summer programming in the EntreMD Business School. Okay. And we have many other things to support it. We have the Facebook group, we have the CEO Power Hour. Everything will be leading us to this place. Everything will be leading us to this place. Okay. All right. So that's the summer. That's what we put together. What I want from you is what you've already done, which is just say yes. Okay. Will there be discomfort? Of course. But if discomfort is the price for freedom, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Okay. All right. That's fun. You guys are ready? Let's do it.